what book was I reading? Last year I read a book talking about
This is the
some of
Grow
the
Business Podcast with Cory.
some of the creativity in business dealings in the drug trade down in Miami.
Oh, well, I love the show Hotel Cocaine Hotel.
I've seen
Cocaine.
previews. I haven't seen the
Yeah,
show.
on MGM. I really, there's been no announcement. I think that I hope they didn't cancel it. It's just been sitting. But man, that was a great.
Yeah?
It's a great. That was a great show. Danny Pino Pinto, guy from Law and Order, played it. They did a great job of jumping based on a true story.
Right.
About the Mutiny Hotel and the whole
Right.
kind of thing going on. What a time to be alive, as they would say. I mean, you would know. I mean, obviously, I wasn't.
I heard.
But you would know about that. It hasn't. Yeah, I know. That's the problem. It's just sitting there, and it's been 2 years now. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, we'll see. A lot of great TV on though.
Yeah, the other
So,
show that I really liked was Godfather of Harlem,
Oh yeah,
the Frank Lucas.
yeah. It's not done.
They still doing that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That show is awesome.
Yeah, it's a great show.
Yeah.
It's funny. The interesting thing is to play. That is where you can blatantly see the embellishment
Correct.
because like the timelines don't even match up.
Right.
But that's. I mean, again, it's not a biography.
It's entertaining.
So it's right. It's based on true. Yeah, but like Bumpy Johnson was dead
right.
already when they took out.
The
shoot.
Italian guy.
Yeah. Columbo.
Correct.
Yeah. So that whole thing, like he was dead already.
Okay.
When they shot Columbo. So like if you know that I watch a lot of mob stuff and I watch a lot of mob documentaries, I'm watching a good one. I'm watching one now about Philadelphia.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Mob Wars of Philadelphia on Netflix. It's been out a while. It didn't just come out.
Right.
I just found my way to it, but I'm watching it. So I have my new wellness routine.
Oh, good.
So I have a Steam thing in that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's slow because I'm only in the Steam song of like 10 minutes.
Right.
10, 15 minutes. So it's taking me a long time to get through it because I use it as the show. I put it on.
Okay.
And I sit in the thing and I just listen.
Yeah.
I crank it up and then listen.
Oh, wow.
But it's fascinating to,
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people, I mean, people are very fascinated by the mob and the whole
Right.
idea of it. And, I mean, there is no mob, but whatever.
Right.
When there was or there wasn't, I don't know.
Right.
The thing existed or didn't exist, but what does exist is where you are right now, where
That's
you are tuning
correct.
to. If you are listening to us on Google Play or iHeartRadio or Apple Podcasts, or you're watching us, hopefully,
Yes.
because we dress up nice for you and for these things. I wish we could be like the House Coat podcast where we're just audio only, and who knows? Those guys. Some of them are just a mess.
Correct.
Nobody's brushed their teeth. Got cold in their eye. You wake up with the cold in your eye. They got.
Right.
We can't get away with that here because
No.
we're right here in HD.
That's correct. Well, it would be awesome. It's hard to do because the equipment would get so destroyed, but to have like a cigar lounge type, cigar and a cigar lounge
a sip and
and
cigar
sip
thing.
and smoke podcast.
Hold on. I think maybe we could do that we could do that on the second set over there.
Okay.
With the chairs.
But we could do maybe the 100th episode, special episode, sip and smoke.
Can we smoke in this building? You probably can't,
Probably
right?
not. We probably get thrown out.
Yeah, we can't probably.
I like thinking about that though.
Yeah.
I like the idea of that.
Yeah, I don't think we can do that here. But maybe we can shoot it at the make some special arrangements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a feeling they're going to be open to anything.
Oh, wow. All right, folks. This is the Grow Business Podcast. I'm your host, Cory Mosley. I've been going with the illustrious lady, joined by the illustrious man of men, Capo di Tutti Capo. We're using my mob terms.
There you go.
Boss of bosses.
Thank you.
In case you didn't know that.
Thank you.
LG007 Line Grab is in the building.
Voice of reason.
It's good to be here, Cory.
Yes. And, you probably wouldn't see us or hear us without this guy.
Right.
Willie H is in the building.
Hit the buttons, William.
We'll see how he does today. We're firmly in January,
Correct.
and I haven't done any paperwork on him yet. So
We
this
knocked
is
the dust off, yeah.
Yeah, this is good. So, folks, as you know, if you are a returning listener,
Right.
if you're new to us, we base our show, again, it's in the name, grow. We're here to grow your business. So you're a small business owner, even larger scale businesses. We have several like C-suite people that listen, chief marketing officers, CEOs, because really we're not just drilled into small business, but we're for you if you have a business. So we're not the startup show. We're not this. So if you have a business you're looking to grow, this is the right place. We are always covering. The show is 100% about that. With our blend of humor and story and history.
100%.
And we base our content largely on my latest book, Position for Growth, which talks about our 5 pillars. LG, what are those 5 pillars?
You know what? I might even get them in the right order this time.
Yes.
Mindset, sales, marketing, operations, and people.
Yes, we believe every business growth challenge falls within one of those categories, and your real goal is to be able to identify, isolate, and attack to get through that. So we're going to continue that today, really under the people pillar.
Okay,
is what we're working on today.
Awesome.
We're going to talk about contractors, freelancers, and fractional leaders.
Okay.
We talked about this in a previous episode in your terms of your ability to do that and have an outreach.
Right.
But here's the key. We're going to be talking today about how to hire those folks who fit the skill gaps that you have in your organization.
Awesome.
Not just people you like.
Right.
Because that's a big one.
Yeah.
It's something about him, so likable.
Right.
Right. Train wreck.
It has the potential for that.
We both like football.
Right.
Train wreck. Right. So, one of the biggest hiring mistakes that happen and that I see often is, people who hire, it's not who they hire a lot of times. It's why they hire.
Okay.
Okay?
Sure.
So, liking someone is not a qualification.
Correct.
We got to think about that. So, of course, we're in 2026. Chemistry matters. You got to hire people you want to work with and that will fit inside your culture. But chemistry matters. Capability wins.
Right.
And it's how we want you thinking about that.
Well, and what we're saying, or we'll talk about in this episode, is identify the capability first and then find chemistry. So if you end up getting 2 people that have the same capabilities, then you can choose which one you would rather work with.
Right.
But don't have 2 people that you don't know what they can do or not and say, well, I like that person. They said they can do it. I'm going to give them a chance.
Right. Let me hire him. I think I could date him.
Lord have mercy.
I've seen it all.
I've seen it all. I've seen that happen, right.
So let's just dive right in.
Sure.
So number 1, I think we're going to do like 5 of these.
Okay, good.
Number 1 is stop hiring people who think like you.
Yeah.
You talk about team of rivals. Now listen, I definitely don't want to be around people whose main goal is to be contrarian.
Correct.
Right? Like that is the main driver. That's like you're intentional about that.
Right.
That's not helpful to me.
Right.
But similarity feels good, but it can be dangerous.
Right.
Right? So hiring people who purely agree with you.
Right.
This goes on inside the house of Mosley all the time.
Okay.
I have team members.
Right.
Willie H is this way.
Okay.
Willie H loves to interpret what I'm trying to do or what I want to do or go with it.
Okay.
When I'm not asking about, I'm not, there's a difference between giving a directive and having a collaborative conversation. Right? So there's times when you're around having a collaborative conversation, but what several people in my orbit like to do is they take me making a suggestion as the gospel of what I want when I'm really asking for conversation. I'm really trying to have a conversation about something.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, well, what do you think we did it this way? Okay, if that's what you want to do. No, that's not what I'm asking.
Right. And the key is,
Buckaroo.
the key is, what do you think?
Yes.
Because there's I want to do this.
Correct.
And
I
there's
have no problem
think?
articulating this. If this is what we're doing, I have no problem we're going with this.
Right.
But if I'm asking an open-ended question, I'm trying to spark conversation, seek opinion, and then make a decision.
Correct. And
but people spend so much time trying to ascertain what I'm trying. Oh, where you want to go for lunch? How about this place? Okay, let's go there. No, I'm just asking. I didn't. If I said that's where we're going, then I just say get in the car.
Right.
Right. Like if I was definitive about it versus a conversation.
Well, and this is a little bit of a gray area. We've talked before about hiring yes people. This is a little bit of a gray area. What you want is people that have their own ideas that are willing to discuss those with you. That doesn't mean they always disagree with you, and that doesn't mean that they're always contrarian. What it means, though, is that they have their own ideas. They understand the mission. They understand what you're trying to accomplish. They understand how you define success. And they're going to come up with some ideas that are different than yours about how to do it. And sometimes how to do it means don't do something versus, yeah, that's a good idea, Cory.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because you don't get anything for that.
It's all right.
Too early. He's vexed.
Yeah,
it's 11 minutes in. So yes. So hiring the people that agree with you, hiring mini me versions of yourself. Right. That's scary.
Yeah.
Now, this is tricky.
Okay.
Hiring friends.
Right.
Referrals or familiar personalities without skill validation.
Correct. Right.
Willie H and I went to know each other since middle school.
Right.
Middle school? Yeah, middle school.
Chiefs?
Now, the Chief, no. No, that was pre-middle school. That was middle school.
Before Chiefs?
That was middle school, but before I got to this particular flavor of middle school. That was it. Yeah. But, so this could be great, right? This could be kind of tricky.
Right.
Right? Now, Willie H, though, when my last creative director went to go work for his church full time, Willie H had stepped into a role on a ad hoc, as needed basis.
Right.
So a lot of some of our training videos, a lot of content that we were doing from our old set, he had already stepped into that role. So it was a natural evolution versus going, hey, man, you know how to use a camera?
Right.
Why don't you come run this studio?
Right.
Right? So, but for other people, there isn't correlation a lot of times.
Right.
My niece needs a job. So let me put her, and she's young, so let me put her in charge of social media.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
And yeah. The intent, we'll give credit for the intent. The intent is good, but the reality of it is it doesn't end well.
Right.
And I would, when I was working in surgical sales and now I'm in another leadership role, I get people that will want to refer because they like doing business with us. They want to refer because they want the people that, like a son of a friend or a daughter of a friend, to say, hey,
great.
My neighbor, say, hey, are you hiring? And one of the ways that I learned to qualify that is I'll interview anybody that you recommend because the validation in the referral is important. So you got to talk to the person that they recommend. That doesn't mean you have to hire them. But what I say to them is make sure you only send me people that you're willing to work with, because if I hire them, they're likely working with you. And that was like a qualifier, right?
Right.
It's so that qualified the referrals before they got to me. But you want to have a system in your business when you're interviewing people, whether it be fractional or whether it be full-time, that you want to make sure that they can do the job that you need them to do in addition to being somebody's friend or in addition to liking them. That's what we're talking about.
Right. Well, and also, it's, you have to think about what happens if it doesn't work out.
Correct.
So like, I did an interview many years ago and said, I'm not going to hire my mother because I don't want to have to fire my mother.
Right.
If something doesn't work out, that's a problem.
Exactly right.
You know what I mean? So that's worth considering. But the problem is then you end up with people who stayed in the job too. So now I'm carrying my mother, basically.
Right.
I hired her to do X and, she's not doing it very well. And now what? I've got subpar performance in whatever that area is.
Right. And the hardest person to deal with, in addition to family or beyond family, the hardest person to deal with in your organization is the person that's in the middle. The person that's doing all right, but they're not doing great.
Right.
They're likable.
Right.
So you keep them because they're likable. You keep looking for reasons to keep them.
Right.
That's the hardest person because the one that's terrible, you can fire because they're terrible. The one that's a jerk, you can fire because they're a jerk.
Right.
The one that's likable in the middle, that's the hardest person on your team to deal with because you like them, so you want to give them every opportunity, but the more opportunity you give them, the more they prove that they can't do it.
Right.
And the longer you take to fire them, the harder it is and the more negative impact it has on your business.
Woo. When the church say amen.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, and when you add that all up, what are the real costs, right? Blind
Correct.
spots stay blind.
Right. Yeah. So good.
Right. Poor decision making.
Right.
No strategic tension. Right. No. Room of rivals. No team of rivals. No
Correct.
kind of thinking outside of the box, as they say.
Right.
And the founder stays the smartest person in the room.
Yeah.
So TD Jakes used to say, if he'd look around his executive leadership team and says, the moment I know everything that you know, I don't need you.
Right. Well,
right.
Yeah. And
It's like if you're the smartest person in the room, you need a new room.
We'll take it the other extreme too, right? They asked Henry Ford if he knew how to do something. He goes, well, I don't know how to do that, but I know how to push that button. The person who answers it does.
That's right. Right. A students work for B students and C students run the company.
There you go.
History has shown that to be very accurate. Right. So,
right.
I think, I think it's as simple as that.
Right.
So, what to do instead? Well, map your personal strengths and weaknesses first. There's a lot of great tools out there. Strengths Finder,
Correct.
Fascinate. Fascinate's an interesting one by Sally Hogshead because what was interesting when I went through that process is Fascinate is designed to show you how people see you.
Oh, that's valuable.
Where Strengths Finders and those, are more about, again, your strengths and your things. But it's a visual of how people see you. I thought that was so I always have recommended that one.
And what it's called Fascinate, that's Sally Hogshead?
Yeah, okay. Sally Hogshead. I know you know her from the speaking community.
I do. Yeah.
But it's a great one. And many times it will line up with, what you think, but many times also it highlights, some things that you're like, oh, I didn't really see that. I'm often seen as like a thought leader. I can't remember what my thing was, but it was kind of revolved around that piece, which, makes a little sense based on kind of what I do every day. But yeah, that's one to check out. But anyway, and again, your what's the other, your DISC profile, all right, Briggs, Myers-Briggs, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Are you an EG, TFDW, TCW, and then whatever it is, your EJ, TNFT, ENT, whatever. So, but map those out, and then now hire people who challenge the thinking, right? See some risks that you miss, operate differently than you do.
Right.
I don't want to, well, I will. Because the episode's already aired, but like I'm a big Landman person. Are you watching Landman?
I haven't. I've seen 2 episodes of it, and I haven't invested in it. I do. It's great, but I'm gonna go. Well, I'm gonna give you a spoiler if you're behind, but because it was great. So Demi Moore's in the next season. She's a cast regular in the season. Okay.
It was taking over the oil company for John Hamm's character who died, Monty, and so in this episode she fires Billy Bob Thornton.
Oh wow! Okay.
And the premise of that is, there's a big $400 million investment they had to make in going to drill.
Okay.
In the ocean.
Okay.
And there's a 10% chance that they hit.
All right.
So she pushed to do it.
Okay.
And Billy Bob Thornton kept trying to say no, don't do it. So there's a scene where she sits down and she says, basically, my husband. It's like she's like, you had bad experience in the past. So the short version is, at one time, both him and John Hamm's character had gone out to build their own stake.
Okay.
He made a bad call, lost everything, and then at the end ended up working for John Hamm.
Okay.
Right. So he's got this chip on his shoulder. Right. He's got this risk aversion. Many business owners, right, who are risk adverse or whatever, or got burned or had a bad experience and won't get back up or won't go out there or try to stay safe.
Right.
So her premise was, he's like, I know what it's like to lose everything, and we got to do this, and we got to stay safe. And her attitude was, her husband's whole life was built on built on risk.
Right.
They have everything they have now because of risk.
Right.
He says, well, risk killed him, and she says, no, I don't think it did. I think risk kept him alive.
Oh wow.
Right. That kept him alive.
Right.
So and I can't have. So this is the point where I'm going.
Right.
And it was great. I can't have somebody running my company, a company that's based on risk and exploration, that doesn't believe, that's burnt out on risk and doesn't believe it.
Right.
So you're fired.
Oh wow. Okay.
And it was very powerful because it was this idea that, right, yin and yang, like we're trying to do this and you're this way.
Right.
And while we're not talking about, we've done episodes on letting people go and some things like that, and we'll do more on that in the future. So it's not about when to let somebody go, but this also applies to hiring. If someone doesn't share your vision, if someone doesn't have anybody I talk to or in any hiring capacity, if they're not excited about whatever it is that we're offering and what we're doing or whatever it is, and that may not be working for me directly, it may be for a client that I'm placing somebody for something. If you don't have excitement, that's not going to work, because I always want a culture of excitement.
Correct.
We laugh, we try to have a good time while through the work, because it's not always fun.
No, sometimes
Yeah, so you have to have those. You have to have those moments. So who wants to be in a foxhole with a Debbie Downer, or someone that's or someone that's not going to challenge something to come at it another way,
right?
You ever been even like a Rubik's Cube, or those little square peg games that they have at like Cracker Barrel?
Oh yeah.
And you ever been like stuck on one and you're there, and then like the person you're at the table with is like, oh, let me take a look. Boop, do, and like it's done.
Right.
It's that secondary look.
Right.
If that person looked at it exactly the same way you did, you'd both be stuck.
Correct. Yeah, and I think the Landman example. Thank you for sharing that. Now I have to watch it.
Oh, you got to watch the show. It's the dialogue. It's just great.
The thing about that is there's two sides to that Demi Moore firing his character, right?
Mm.
One is you're risk averse. The other is maybe you want somebody who's going to cause you to think about it just a little bit differently, so that you consider things you might not normally consider.
Right.
So it's finding that balance. Now, if your philosophy is completely different, then we probably can't be talking about being excited, right?
Right.
You may have a different approach. You're still excited about it.
Right.
That's one thing. You have a different approach, and you're not, and you're
right. I mean, there's definitely a different emotion. Willie H emotes enthusiasm much differently than other people.
100%. 100%.
But I know he has enthusiasm.
Correct.
Even when I question it sometimes.
Right. Yes.
But he'll also he'll get real like loud all of a sudden. Like when you see he's charged up, and like he'll go from 43 beats per minute heart rate, and then he'll charge up. So yeah, but the belief, but the overall enthusiasm for things that we're doing or whatever, is right. Versus someone who's like, oh, what's your version of excited?
Yeah.
So who are you hiring? Strategic thinkers, if you're tactical.
Right.
Operators, if you're a visionary.
Right.
Analysts, if you're intuitive.
Correct.
Right. I can't have 3 people in the room that want to go by their gut.
Right.
Right. Somebody's gotta maybe say, oh, what does the data say?
Correct. You want somebody that's going to look at the same thing in a different way.
Right, because comfortable hires, LG, create fragile businesses.
Correct.
In a lot of different ways. So, and many times you don't need clones.
Mm-mm.
You need contrast.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, gosh, if you're good at what you do, you're going to be the best at it.
Yeah.
You're going to be frustrated with somebody that you want to be like you.
Right.
And the reason you're going to be frustrated is because they're not going to be as good at it as you are. You want them to bring something to complement what you're good at. And they complement it by being good at something else that continues to help you advance the business.
Yeah.
And the reality of it is that there's going to be conflict in conversation.
Mm-hmm.
What you want to establish, and we may get to this point, what you want to establish is a framework for having those conversations. So you're still respecting each other's opinion. You're still respecting each other's ideas.
Right.
You're still validating each other as people without attacking their ideas.
Right.
You want to create a way to have those conversations that are complementary and constructive.
That's right.
This might be a guy I want to work with.
All right, number 2, hire for outcomes, not hours.
Yeah.
I mean, this is especially important when we're talking about contractors and freelancers, right?
Correct.
Because what are some of the mistakes? Well, paying freelancers by the hour with no clear deliverables.
Right.
No KPIs, no definition of success. Also, confusing activity with results. We talked about that busy
Right.
work kind of
Sure.
mentality because, your real costs, you've got things like scope creep, you've got endless revisions, you've got low accountability, and you've got wasted spend.
Yeah, Cory, and I mean, there's the, there's the, I don't even want to say that. It's when you hire somebody to do hourly
I got
work.
to know offline what that was. So go ahead.
When you hire somebody to do hourly work, they tend to look at the hours. When you hire somebody to do a job,
Right.
so and we're talking about owners and leaders, right? It's the difference between, you don't hire leaders and pay them by the hour. You
Sure.
hire leaders and pay them. This is what you get, and this is the benefit for the company being successful in bonus and
Now you need to do your
compensation and
job.
commission. Right, now go make it happen.
Right.
Whereas you hire
point.
somebody who clocks in and clocks out, they're focused on when they get there and how long they're there. And so that's what we're talking about.
I know something about 501.
Right.
Don't ask my buddy nothing.
Right, and because you're paying time.
Don't
and a half.
email me. Don't go 501.
Right.
Game over.
Correct.
You get all you're gonna get to 5 o'clock.
Well, and so what we're saying is in this is you get what you're paying for.
Right.
So if you're paying for the job, you get the job. If you're paying for the hour, you get the hour.
All right. And listen, what do you need to be doing in these situations? Well, defining specific outcomes, defining timelines, milestones,
Right.
success metrics, right? X needs to happen for Y, right?
Correct.
Pay for deliverables, not for time.
Correct.
When you're talking about hiring freelancers, well, I want freelance, there's somebody that's been reaching out to us that wants to get involved in our YouTube channel. And it's like, hey, send me who you've done this for. I'm not here to be, some people are here to be an experiment. I'm not one of them.
Correct.
So, let me see, I want to see a half a dozen channels that you've done XYZ for.
Correct.
So freelancers, you want people with case studies, you want people with proof.
Right.
What have you worked on? I mean, I've worked with a lot of freelance. I mean, I've worked with a lot of freelancers in the last 2 decades. So understanding what you're looking for and who, and who can communicate and who can follow directions.
Right.
Like little nuances.
Right.
Like even before the hire.
Right.
Right? Like I asked for X and then your boilerplate response said, "Y, you're out."
Right.
Like if you're not referencing some things that I'm particularly looking for from a project. So case studies and proof. Also, we just talked about the piece being deliverables. Make sure you're hiring working with contractors, freelancers who are comfortable with performance-based scopes of work.
Correct.
Versus, oh no, it doesn't matter if it's good or bad. You're going to pay for these cookies whether they taste good or not. Like,
right.
No, that's not how this works.
That's
that
right.
bad.
Yeah. And many times you want a specialist, not a generalist.
Oh yeah.
Right, for specific things. So, if you can't define success, don't hire yet.
Right.
For whatever it is you're trying to do, because hours ultimately by themselves do not grow businesses.
Right.
Outcomes do.
Yeah, and I think that there's a couple of things here, Cory. One is talk about scope of work. So when you're hiring for a project, you hire for the project. And so you say, and so if you don't know what that project you want that project to look like, then you can't hire for it because you don't know what you want the outcome to be. What does success look like? There's another piece of it though too, where we've talked about in previous episodes, and we deal with this especially in consultants and coaches, where maybe you hire a virtual assistant or you hire for that. You can pay them by the hour, but you still want them to accomplish tasks. You still want them to accomplish, whether it's a newsletter, whether it's an update, whether it's a flyer, whether it's a contract.
Right.
So you can pay them by the hour with the expectation that they're doing these things.
Go ahead.
But the bigger things, a website, a project, a campaign, you're paying for that work, not for how long it takes.
But I think you're making an important point that you can apply the same principles to things that are traditionally considered an hourly type thing, right? Because paying for effort is expensive.
Oh, yeah.
Paying for results is profitable.
Correct.
Yeah. So,
100%. Yeah, well said.
Makes a lot of sense. We get anything for that? Either one of us? When we have a little run there. Okay, there we go. Sometimes you got to beg. I'm going to get my own damn board up here.
Get a button.
Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. we'd be competing for.
There we
hitting the
go.
button.
Exactly.
All right, number 3, use fractional talent to buy experience you can't afford full time.
Yeah.
Like, this is a 2026 superpower right here,
Yeah.
as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
Because you have a lot of people in the marketplace by choice or by layoffs, downsizing, these different types of situations. People retiring who still have tremendous brain trust in things that don't require innovation.
Right.
Meaning, learning the ins and outs from, like numbers, right? Math is math.
Right.
So someone who has just retired from whatever,
Right.
Outside of changes, like a great tax strategist. Now, as long as they, know the tax code or what's in the 2026 tax code, the fact that they may have retired, there's still mathematical equations, there's still things that apply where they can come into your business and see what's going on, no matter how long. I've been called back into the auto industry in a couple different ways recently. So it's not like it's like riding a bike though.
Right.
Like I can go in and look at a situation. I don't need to know the latest tech piece or the latest whatever to deduce fundamentals.
Correct.
And then you find your tools and your tactics and your new stuff to go along with that. But yeah, I think that's it. That's a thing.
Well, and I think too, and I apologize to cut you off, Cory. I think too,
I do it to you all the time.
Yeah. Well,
what? You're supposed to say no.
Oh, come on, man. Think about these things too in terms of chunks instead of long term. So when we're talking about hiring fractional, you're hiring for a project, you're hiring for maybe a job, or you're hiring for a campaign. And when that campaign's done, you don't necessarily need that full-time person to stick around.
Right.
So think about fractional for specific opportunities, for specific chunks, for campaigns, for projects, because then you can accomplish that project.
Yes.
And then if you decide that you want to hire somebody to continue that project full-time, then you can do that. And now you already have a built-in project from an expert.
And I love where you're going because the mistake that gets created is you wait until you can afford someone full-time and miss the opportunity to solve whatever that problem is. Or you promote internally before you've got systems in place.
Right.
Or you ask a junior person to do senior level thinking.
Well, it's thinking, right?
Right.
Because a lot of times they can do the work, but they don't have the experience and the capacity to do the strategic thinking.
When we get to the episode on Gen Z, critical thinking,
right?
We're in trouble because everyone knows bears only live in the zoo. True story. Okay, we're in trouble, folks.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I'll ring that alarm bell too. The show is changing. I'm changing it to sound the alarm. Sound the alarm with Cory and Lon.
There you go.
Because we're in trouble. Critical thinking. If there was anything under attack in America, it's critical thinking.
Yeah, I believe that.
It's not good. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us of how it used to be.
Oh,
I remember long ago, never to walk in anyone's shadow. If I fail, if I succeed, at least it's because I believe, because the greatest love of all is inside of me.
Oh,
we need more of that.
We do need more of that.
Because we're in trouble. All right. The real cost. See, listen, if someone asked me, Cory, what are the best parts of having your own show? It is being able to sing whatever I want to sing, because I'm not a singer, but no one can stop me.
Without repercussion.
No one, exactly. No one can stop me. I can get tuned going whenever I want.
Yes, you can.
All right. What does that cost you? Slow growth, poor strategy. Also, expensive mistakes made too late.
Right.
So, this all, John Maxwell coined all of the like failing forward.
Oh,
And,
right.
Sometimes you lose and sometimes you learn.
Right.
But for that to be relevant, right, you still have to have that frame properly. But let's avoid failure if we can.
Correct. Right.
So, yes, it's great to learn from it, but let's avoid it. And let's avoid, those mistakes, because many of our listeners have had somebody we can think of that we thought would be great.
Mm-hmm.
That was bad.
Yeah, didn't work.
And vice versa.
Right.
I guarantee there's somebody out there that you passed on
Right.
that went on to have a great career doing something else.
Right.
There's a kid that that was mismanaged in the auto industry and could have been great for the auto industry that ended up in the betting industry.
Oh,
and,
wow.
and went and did a great job in the betting industry.
That's awesome.
So we lost that talent because
Right.
we weren't prepared to cultivate him or didn't cultivate him properly. So,
Well, yeah, and skill set. I mean, it's so important. I mean, I've hired referrals from people that were customers,
right.
and because they were invested in me being successful too. But the person couldn't do what we needed them to do, and ended up costing me business. I didn't just lose the work they didn't do.
Right.
I lost some business because of their engagement with existing customers. So, we talk about creating a way to make sure they can do the job,
right,
and understand what you want them to do.
No, 100%. So what to do instead? Well, fractional.
Yeah.
Fractional CMOs, fractional COOs, fractional CFOs, fractional head of sales or revenue.
Right.
That is big business, folks, and it's a big opportunity for you to leverage people. We've talked about it previously, but specifically in this hiring, and there are big companies being built. I know an AI company that's scaling very fast right now, and they have a fractional CRO. They've got a fractional COO while they're building scale and getting their MRR and their ARR up from a revenue standpoint. But what are you going to do? Not have it, or worse, the founder's trying to do it. That's the recipe. So, the key here is I say fractional. So when does fractional make sense? Well, it makes sense when you need a strategy, not a head count. You need systems built, not babysitting. Right. So you need speed and pattern recognition. You know what I mean? So that becomes a situation where you don't need a full-time executive, but you need executive thinking.
Right. Well, and fractional gives you access at a different investment level than hiring somebody full-time. Because
it lets you rent wisdom before you can afford it.
Well, and think about it like
say amen.
Think about it like a transition plan. Yeah, it was really good. Think about it like a transitional plan. Okay, ultimately I want to have my own CFO.
Right.
But I can't afford it. It doesn't make sense. I don't have enough revenue to do that. But I need that kind of guidance.
Yes.
And you can get great experience and great guidance from somebody who's done it for a lot of people. And it's a transition plan, and and you're not paying benefits.
Right. Right.
I mean,
right. I mean, and also just the idea. I mean, just really again looking at the knowledge base, right, from a standpoint where experience, really allows you to compress time.
Yes.
Right. Fractional hiring buys time.
Yes.
So you have the advantage of that scenario, and again, a lot of these things. That's one of the things why I'm really big on franchises this year in the franchise environment.
Okay.
Because you get the training, you get profiles on who you should be looking for, but you get systems and support also in that environment. So we're super thankful for our sponsors, Pecan Jack's Franchising here.
Yeah, thank you, Cory. And today's episode is sponsored by Pecan Jack's Ice Cream and Candy Kitchen franchise, where fun meets serious profit. With an average unit volume of $960,193.38. This is a franchise that proves that you can build wealth doing something people love. Learn more at pecanjacksfranchise.com and see if there's a sweet spot open in your market.
And that's what's going on in your neck of the woods.
Yeah.
Shout out to, he's got the trademark on that, so I can't. Al Roker.
Oh, yeah.
You can't. Neck of the woods.
Oh, that's
you can't
right.
say that to anybody else. All right, number 4. Hire to eliminate founder bottlenecks. Yes. Not to help out.
Right.
That's key.
Right.
I want them to get you assistance. I work with some great founders right now that ultimately need to be thinking about how they work themselves out of the business
Right.
in different ways. So what's the mistake? Well, hiring assistants that don't have any authority,
Right.
hiring vague roles like support or help,
Right.
still approving everything yourself.
Right.
Right. So, and this is a big one for you, for my founders out there that are looking to expand and grow, because man, many of you are so micro
Mm-hmm.
that everything's just paralyzed until it comes across your desk and then you're overwhelmed. So, because it's your baby,
Right.
so think of your baby like having to go to college
Yeah.
when we have to let the baby, and the college is not down the street,
Right.
right? You're gonna have to get over it.
Right.
Right? They're going to another state. They're going to have college life. They're going to have another set of experiences. And you hope that you train them to not go out and be a train wreck.
Correct.
Right? That's your hope. But the evolution's going to happen. So, it's, I just made that kind of analogy up on the spot, but it makes a lot of sense here, because your real cost is your exhaustion as a founder, your ability to execute slower because you're so micro. Your team dependency, and the fact that you don't really have any leverage coming into the situation because you're trying to bear hug everything.
Yeah. And it's, we call this the Grow Business Podcast, and what the founder micromanaging and really squeezing everything does is it often flatlines,
right?
Because it's your business growth is based on your capacity to approve things. And your capacity to approve things doesn't change unless you change the people that have the ability to make decisions in your organization.
Yeah, and that's a great lead in, right? So almost like you knew.
I have ESPN.
Yeah. Hire for decision ownership.
Yeah.
Right. In the scenarios that we're talking about. So
yeah.
So this is you clearly defining, right? What decisions will they own, right? What outcomes they will control.
Right.
What will you stop doing,
right?
As a result of that? And it's just key. We're going through that right now inside an organization, is that we got to start peeling these things off the founder's desk.
Right.
So again, they could focus on what the founder COO, what that actually means,
right?
and not these other jobs, because they're used to that when they were smaller, or because it wasn't financially practical to have somebody else doing that. So what does that mean, right? Who are you hiring then? Well, you want operators who love execution.
Right.
Project managers who push back and give you ideas and challenge the thinking to really improve processes. But also leaders who are comfortable making the calls. I can't tell you how many business owners I know that are passive aggressive and will just dance around a situation. Crazy.
Okay.
I know a guy that let his sales manager work from home because he was he was sick. But this is the guy running running a retail sales organization from his bed.
Ooh.
Because he didn't want to let the guy go or lay him off or furlough him or whatever,
right.
send him on disability, whatever the options were.
Was, right.
Right. Can you imagine running a 10-person sales team that is retail based, and you're the guy that you need to drive the ship is at home in his bed rest?
That's
that
hard.
bad.
That's bad. It is bad.
Not only is it bad, it turns you into a CVS.
Yeah.
Which is what is there in place of the business that had been there for 40 years. I'm sure he made money on the land, but his business is gone.
Yeah, the recurring revenue's done, right?
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, exactly.
By you talk about decision, hire people for decision making. There's we're in Richmond, VCU, Virginia Commonwealth University is based here in town, and I would drive down 95, and VCU was promoting this new MBA program.
Yep.
And it was called Decision Analytics. I wish they would have named it Decision Making. Because you can understanding the analytics are important.
Paralysis to analysis,
but you can.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, and every time I drove by that, I'm like, I'm sure that's a great degree to understand.
Right.
But if they're not teaching you decision making,
that's interesting.
Then that's how my brain is working.
That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah. Well, because it's like you want to be I get it. Yeah. I mean, if you're the bottleneck, your growth is capped.
Correct.
Right? There's no. Right. And at the end of the day, delegation without authority
Right.
is fake leverage.
Right.
You're not creating leverage in the market to allow you to do more. Because, you know, I mean, if you're still approving everything, you didn't hire, you adopted.
Yeah.
Woo. But the church say amen.
Well, I'll give you an example on the other side. Cory, you know, one of my best friends up in Northern Virginia, he owns a contracting business, and they do a lot of government work. And there was on the Mount Vernon Trail, there was a bridge that needed to be redone, and they went and bid it. And the project person on their team went out and looked at it and said, "Hey, I think we can do this better, and I think we can make it more profitable by doing it this way." Because the owner was willing to listen to him. And this was an idea. So he said, "Okay, if you think we can do it, then run with it."
Yeah.
And they did. And they ended up making probably like 25 or 30% more profit on that project because he trusted the person that was running it, who had that expertise and experience, and said, "Okay, if you know what you're talking about, go make the decision. Let's go do it."
Yeah. I mean, I remember a very significant deal that we had on the table, and I was a subcontractor to the prime. Right. So you have prime, subprime in the corporate, big corporate deals. So I was subprime to the prime, and we had a great plan, very innovative. The COO of the prime corporation, $400 million company, thought it would just be easier to partner with another big company and send that proposal instead of my proposal, which had a few more moving parts, but was much more innovative.
Okay.
And he didn't want to go my route. So he said, "Well, just partner with XYZ and we'll phone it in." I mean, basically phone it in. That's easy, clean partnership, simple. And that's what they went and they presented. And this $1 billion corporation that was making a decision, their council, their leadership council, hated the company, had a terrible history with the company that my people picked to partner with.
Oh, no.
So there were only 2 people on the bid.
Right.
So that contract de facto, forget dollars and cents, de facto to one of our biggest rivals.
Right.
I, to this day, and this is 10 years ago, I'm still disgusted about that. Because that would have been, at my level, that would have been probably $2 million worth of business.
Right.
That was architected beautifully.
Right.
That because one person sat in who was short-sighted, didn't have vision, but was in a position of authority, cost me millions of dollars. And
probably there's a component to it.
Who got fired just a few short years later from that position. And probably went to go to. I'm going to look him up after that. I'll make myself a note right now. I'm pissed. But it all came back now.
Think about the person. We'll use this for a minute. Think about the person. So you talked about your proposal had a little bit more intricacy in it, and you were capable of executing on it.
Correct.
Which is the deal. That COO probably didn't quite understand that. And because he didn't quite understand it, wasn't willing to bet on you. He said, "Let's just do what we know, what we're comfortable with. And we'll go with the people that are going to ultimately cost us this
contract." He clearly
contract.
had not watched Passenger 57.
Clearly.
Because Wesley Snipes said it best. Always blood on black.
Bingo.
Bingo.
Amen. There you go.
All right. Number 5. This is the final one and we get out of here.
Yep.
Hire for the business you're building, not the one you have.
Correct.
And this is right along with that dress for the job you want, not the job you have, right? And a lot of times this is the most missed one.
Yeah.
And when we think about those mistakes, right? Hiring based, only on today's problems.
Right.
Right. Hiring for short-term relief.
Right.
And, building a team that can't scale.
When you hire for the business you're building, you make better decisions. And here's why. Because you're not desperate.
Yeah.
You are hiring to construct something when you're hiring for problems that you have right now. Now, that doesn't mean that if you have a significant problem, you may need a short-term fix and maybe a higher, fractional person to come help you solve that problem. But when you're hiring to grow your business,
Right.
and you hire for the growth, you make better decisions because you're thinking about what you want that growth to look like.
Yeah.
And you're getting that person to become aligned with you, and you're hiring for alignment, not to do it the way you would do it, but you're hiring for alignment of philosophy and alignment of approach.
Yeah, no, I like that. Because your real cost is the constant rehiring.
Correct.
Right? Having to rebuild systems over and over again.
Right.
Having a talent mismatch at every growth stage.
Yeah.
And, what's the alternative? Well, ask yourself, who does the business need to become? What skills does the next version require? And then you hire people who already have solved bigger problems.
Yes.
Right? Or have operated at the next level.
Correct.
You don't always have the luxury of growing together at that point. I mean, that's why you see private equity come into an organization and they install a professional CEO.
Right.
Sometimes that works. It doesn't always work because you tear the culture up. But you see very common, the founders take it as far as they can.
Right.
And now there are just people who are better operating an enterprise than a small business. Or a mom and pop, or that type of thing. So, most owners hire for today and then wonder why tomorrow breaks.
Right.
So the future business requires future ready people.
Right.
Oh, they're at the twilight of their career. No, I mean we've had some change. We changed attorneys with one of our clients. And the attorney was a nice guy, but he was at the he wasn't innovating. He was at the end of his career.
Right.
This was his second act.
Okay.
Solo practitioner, not with the big firm anymore, not with the big corporate, whatever. So this is a solo act. So he wasn't built for where we were going.
Right.
He helped us get off the ground, but now we have to retain a bigger firm with more resources at greater cost.
Well,
we're in a gray area of we might have be overspending right now to be prepared for the future.
Correct.
Because we could have stayed in this ad hoc, lower cost. I mean, of course, because that guy's got lower costs, got lower overhead, so he can do things for quote unquote cheaper. But when we needed innovation, we would needed these things, or who's up on the latest XYZ.
Right.
There was no thought leadership necessarily there. So you may be at that point too. You've got to think about that with the current people you have now, freelancers, fractional people, internal employees. Are they built for the future? Because, growth doesn't fail. I'm going to give you one right now if you want it. Growth doesn't fail. Teams fail to grow with it.
Voice of Reese.
If I had a microphone, if I could drop this without having to buy another one, I'd just drop it.
Right.
Mic drop. You're going to need to capture some new sound bites for 2026.
We'll do some stuff for that.
So, I think the goal of hiring isn't comfort, it's capability. Right. So, in 2026, I think when we think about this from a skill level, and being a very valuable skill is knowing what not to do and who should do it instead. Yeah,
that's really, really, really important when you're talking about growing your business.
Yeah. And if you're looking to grow a business or expand your business, maybe you're looking for a second business you want to add to your portfolio. Franchising is definitely where to go, and we've got one of the best sponsors in the game. If you like sweets, if you're into desserts, or as the co-founder Tim says, if you want to make people happy, and who don't want to go to work every day and make people happy, Pecan Jacks is definitely worth consideration.
100%. So Cory, thank you. Before we wrap, a quick thank you to our sponsor, Pecan Jacks Ice Cream and Candy Kitchen Franchise, serving up smiles and strong returns with an average unit volume of $960,193.38. If you're ready to add a high-performing, family-friendly franchise to your business portfolio, visit pecanjacksfranchise.com and start your journey today.
I love it. Well, my friend, we're going to leave it right there. What do you typically love to say to everybody?
Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming back. And next time, bring a friend.
That's right. This has been another episode of the Grow Business Podcast. On behalf of myself, Cory Mosley, Longram LG007, and Willie H., we thank you for coming. And we will see you. There we go. We'll see you next time. Willie H, take us out. We see you.
We see you.
You know, I've got a gift. I'm going to order something for you
Are you?
that I've started using that you're going to love. It's this travel tin, and it's got the lotion in it, but they're little beads.
Okay.
And you just open the tin, like a mint tin,
Right.
take one of the beads, and you melt it in your hand.
Oh, it's
And it
kind of like
gives
a
you
Dippin' Dots version of lotion.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm going to give you a sample.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a sample. We're going to hook you up.
Where'd you get that?
Can't be out there tearing people's hands up.
Yeah, I had a good
We got
stretch.
it at a Christmas shop in Pittsburgh.
Oh, fun. Okay.
They had all the Christmas shopping
Oh, yeah.
little merchant thing set up. And a
They're
woman
supposed to
that
have
does
a nice Christmas, don't they have a really nice Christmas market up there?
Yeah,
or something?
downtown. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah,
Okay.
The downtown thing. And
Yeah.
a woman who does, the soaps and the
Oh, neat.
the
Okay.
lotions and stuff. But I'd never seen anything.